Apologies about that brief hiccup. Anyways, as stated before, I am Kotlguy, and this is a European Elite League game. Now, with all due respect, I do want to let everyone know already that currently, over on the other side, in the NEL, they are doing the playoffs. They have already reached the end of the league, and they've begun the playoff process. The captains have picked their teams, and I believe they're going to playoff finals. So this is a real big deal. If you want, you can find that at twitch.tv/NeoDota2. All right. Anyways, we'll go ahead and pay more attention to the game at hand right now. Once I said before, it's a European Elite League game, but this is a special game. Normally, I wasn't planning to cast anything at all this evening, figuring that all my attention should go towards the NEL right now. But I saw the lineup and who's going to be playing in this game, and I got a little intrigued, not going to lie. So, as you can see, right off the bat, the top, we got S4, Skyzo, Den, Masquerade, Hamaran. I apologize ahead of time. These could be aliases for more popular players, but sometimes you just can't keep up what they're changing their names so goddamn often. I don't know what the hell they're playing as. CWM and Jafar is going to go ahead and finish out the Dire side. Give me one brief moment here. I need to find my chat. Hello, Jumbo John. How you doing? I did change the title, so thank you very much for that, though. And on the Radiant side, as you can see, Dendi was the captain. Unstop, Lumdun, Red Star, and Nose. A lot of familiar names in there if you didn't know. I believe Emerald Bulldog is one of those names. I don't know which one, though. Loda, as I said before. So some big names. And, well, as the draft begins, you can see a lot of the usual suspects, if you will. Making bans off on the Venomancer right away. Venomancer, as you know, in this latest patch, has a lot of good, interesting little extra tools and buffs. His Poison Sting now applying to his wards, making him just that much more powerful. Ward's already a nice tool, if you will. The extra vision, now increasing amounts of damage in the slow. And, of course, the Visage is banned second most popular here. Last patch, very popular pick, very versatile and a great support role. And they also just quickly banned out the Bounty Hunter there. Of course, no one likes extra track gold. They don't want to allow the Radiant team to build up a lot of extra gold. And on the Radiant side, they went and banned out the Lone Druid. This is probably a respect ban for Admiral Bulldog, so we can safely assume that Admiral Bulldog is either Den or CWM, maybe Den. And then, of course, the Furion as well. So, direct counter bans, that would be my best guess towards Admiral Bulldog. And then, of course, the Bat Rider, third. Bat Rider, not really seen banned as often anymore. Was nerfed down a little bit. So, interesting enough, they did decide to ban him. You can see a quick pickup was done on Lich. Lich now becoming a first ban, first pick hero. Sacrifice getting a nice buff, allowing his team and his lane, or himself if he decides to play solo, to get quick amounts of EXP rather quickly, as well as gold, which is always going to help you in the early lane phase. Meanwhile, they did pick up the Naga and the Elder Titan on the Radiant team. Naga Siren, very great at setting up a certain amount of plays. With her Song of the Siren, using it either defensively or offensively if you have the proper team to make a nice team setup. Elder Titan was picked up next. Elder Titan's great in all lanes. Excellent hero now. If you need to throw him middle, you can. Throw him top, throw him bottom. Throw him anywhere. And especially picking him early is a big deal, because as the other team drafts, you could notice, or you could see rather, where Elder Titan will be placed, and you have the option to call an audible, if you will, and move him out of the mid lane, or move him into the mid lane, depending upon what the other team picks. Clockwork, though, was picked up. Clockwork is one of, I would say, Admiral Bulldog's top 4 or 5 heroes, so I could wager that he's going to go ahead and pick that one up. It seems like they're taking this game a little seriously. It is a European Elite game, but picking up some serious picks. No bullshitting here. No sneaking in pudge so far. No odd picks. It's pretty serious. Anyways, like I said, Clockwork's great. You're going to throw him probably in the off lane, which he's especially good at on that Dire side, with the cogging ability to go ahead and throw those creeps in the jungle and get them stuck. I'm sounding like, what's his Joe from Family Guy. Hey, Peter, why don't you go ahead and get that Clockwork and push that lane down. And then what we're going to do is we're going to rocket flare that pole camp and prevent the team from getting the pole even without the wards. Anyways, Mirana then was picked up to possibly play the offlane role for the Radiant team. Mirana, very good. Her leaping ability now can disjoint some extra attacks, including, well, I doubt it will disjoint Lich's ult, but it can disjoint a bunch of other nukes. For example, the Lance from PL is easily disjointable now thanks to a leap, so that's always good. And as we look back over on the ban side, you can see a few more bans were laid out. We got Timbersaw. Timbersaw was banned out. Timbersaw seems to be a very popular pick by Dendi, and he will take it middle and do a lot of damage, but unfortunately we won't get the joy of seeing a glorious Dendi Timbersaw this game. And on the other team, they banned out the Puck. Puck, great mid hero. Probably could be a partial respect ban. And there we go. We got the Bane picked up for the Dire team. Bane, one of the more top-tier support roles due to his extra amounts of disable and his ultimate and asleep, can really put the enemy where they, where you want them. By, simply setting up asleep, you can get an easy hook shot or anything else off. So it might be set up as a nice counter towards someone like Mirana, where you can use the ultimate to pin her down, not allowing her to be so mobile and frisky. You want to be able to catch her. She's a little son of a gun, running and jumping everywhere.
10 seconds.
And here we go. We're going to see, it looks like a Dendi Invoker, though. That's always a sweet treat.
5 seconds.
A little tricky for me, I have to admit right now. I'm not a big Invoker player. I'm not really sure what the quas wex and the what's it and the who's and what's it. So I'm going to try my best to give you the inside info. But if you know what's going on, then you can just, figure it out yourself. Lifestealer picked up on the Dire team. Very popular pick by Loda. Oh, I thought Loda was playing, but it's S4. And now it makes sense why they picked up. Or it could be Loda too, and he could be on the alias. I could have sworn Loda. Let me see here. Let me see. Yeah, funn1k is in there in the mix somewhere. I'm not sure what his alias is, but funn1k is in there. As well as Loda is, in there as well. But, I'm really a little too lazy right now, unfortunately, to really find out where the heck everyone is. But it's okay.
Team pick.
You can figure it out, and I'll just try my best, and I'll just use these new made-up names they have, I don't always care to be funn1k. People know me by that, so this is my chance to change my name and my persona, if you will. I mean, I don't know why they're doing it, but hey, sometimes you need to have a personality, and you get tired of just having the alias badge by your name. I get it. But, S4, he's a pretty stern guy, takes things seriously. He's just going to still hold on to that alias badge right there. I'm S4. I don't care. I'm not going to change my name. And let's get back to the actual draft. I'm getting a little sidetracked. Meanwhile, you can see they picked up the Darkseer on the Radiant team. Another great offlaner. So,
10 seconds.
I'm going to guess that they're going to go ahead and throw the Darkseer in the top lane. Dendi obviously middle with the Invoker. And possibly a offensive tri-lane on bottom with Mirana and Naga and the Elder Titan. That's a great setup. Naga throwing out the ensnare can really set up an easy arrow for Mirana, so that's great. Plus you get the extra harassment tools of the Elder Titan bursting him down quickly after the said arrow lands. So that would be my prediction for the Radiant team. Meanwhile, on the Dire, it's a little more tricky. S4 did pick up the Storm Spirit at the end. I believe that's a very popular hero of his, so he'll probably take the Storm Spirit, take the Storm Spirit. Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me right now? Storm Spirit is going to go ahead and head towards the middle, I would assume, played by S4. But it's a little too late. They'll just, he's heading top right now. I'm an idiot, so we'll find out. Anyways, the game has started, and we're going to go ahead and get these introductions underway. Dendi, playing the Invoker, is going to go ahead to the middle lane, where he is very, very familiar with. Probably one of his more favorite non-tournament playing heroes, though he has done it from time to time. I know that he loves that Invoker, so we're going to be in for a real serious treat here. Meanwhile, Red Star, or possibly funn1k, is in Darkseer, going towards the top lane, or I could be completely wrong about who that is, so we're just going to go ahead and say Red Star. Meanwhile, Nose playing Mirana, going towards the bottom lane, as well as Loomdan playing Elder Titan, right behind him, Unstoppable, playing Naga Siren. On the Dire team, S4 playing Storm Spirit is going to float around the middle lane. Meanwhile, twitch.tv/Skyzo, you can check him out apparently at twitch.tv/Skyzo, playing Bane, Gonna probably be the babysit for the top lane. Den Masquerade Harmern, you can assure, is Loda playing Lifestealer. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say Loda from now on because I'm not gonna try to pronounce that name again. Loda in the top lane on the Lifestealer, and or Lifestealer rather, and CWM playing the Lich with Jafar, who I would assume is Bulldog. So I'll just call him Bulldog from now on. Bulldog. A little bit of harassment at the bottom lane to fight over the room, but the game now is underway. So, there's your last hits and denies window. I'm going to throw that up there so you can get more of an idea who is winning this early game laning phase. Now, on paper, if I was to look at these teams, I would say that structurally, the Dire team has the better team on paper, the better draft. But the Rating team, they do have the Invoker. It is intriguing. Not something you're always familiar playing it against, so, you know, they can't pull this one out. But we have early harassment on the top lane. Skyzo puts to sleep on Red Star, and he's got to lay out some auto attacks to really give Darkseer a hard time. We do have some pings out on CWM. They're going to play a very offensive tri-lane, it seems. Naga getting really close, representing two completely different sets of swords. It's kind of hideous looking, but it's all right. She's going to be very fashion forward with that. Going to play very offensively, like I said. It's going to look for the ensnare in the opening and allow Nose to pull off a nice Sacred Arrow. As things go underway, it seems that Loda's getting some nice denies in, rather, being 3-4, while Mirana taking advantage of her tri-lane on the bottom, going for the last hit. So, very even up so far. If you look at the item pickups, rather, my tongue is fabulous this evening. Alright. They're going to go for the pull-through over here, Elder Titan, allowing Mirana to pick up just a little extra farm. It seems that they're going to really try their best to get as much farm as possible quickly to probably beat out the Lifestealer. But look at this, Clockwork and Lich stepping in. Going to give him a little bit of attitude and already pulling the Radiant Creeps away. So successfully stopping that. But will they pay the price? That ensnare going out. But meanwhile, in the top lane, the Bane finishes off the Darkseer. Darkseer probably getting caught off guard a little bit. And they didn't make the move. I apologize for missing that first blood. Just another amateur mistake by Kotlguy. Practice makes perfect though, right? We're going to try our best. That's the motto. Anyways, top lane, you can see the Illusion Rune has spawned, and they're going to go ahead, and Bane is going to head up there and possibly babysit it for Storm Spirit in middle. Nope, he's going to go ahead and pick that up and say, it's mine, I don't give a shit. S4 didn't have his bottle yet, so that's probably a good reason. He is working very close to it. He's losing. He's 5-7 to Dendi's 7-5, so Dendi only having the slight lead as far as middle goes. Mirana, taking advantage of the bottom lane try, is 10-0, but meanwhile, on the top of the pack is Loda playing the Lifesteer. He's 11-6. So he's getting a good job by these babysitters. But here we go. Red Star laying a little bit of harassment. Has the Ion Shell. He's going to go ahead and go for this. Lays the Surge, but is forced to retreat quickly. Is worried about the Bane possibly juking him in the trees. He doesn't want to risk feeding another death, especially to someone like Loda, who will take advantage of that very quickly. So Darkseer playing it smart. He didn't want to get too invested in that and decided to take a step back and pump the brakes. As you can see, Dendi, you know, only slightly ahead in this lane. S4 gonna finally go ahead and pick up his bottle. He's gonna be eager for that 4-minute rune. Dendi, no bottle yet, decided to opt for boots instead. And as you can see, he's going for the Quas Exort build. I'm not quite sure what that means. Anyways, Bane, they do unfortunately pick up the Darkseer once again, setting up the sleep and allowing a lot of attack damage by the Loda on the Lifestealer rather. Is just gonna be a pain in the ass with this Darkseer. He's gonna have a real heck of a time trying to go against this. Meanwhile, the Cold Snap is out on the Storm Spirit middle. Dendi getting aggressive, has to lay out one more auto attack, and he does. Nice aggressive play by the Dendi. It does pay off for him, and knowing that he needs to get down that S4 before he gets level 6, it becomes really a big bugger. The ensnare's out. It's too far away. Bulldog's going to be safe this time. The tri-lane on bottom getting really antsy. Really want to avenge their off-lane partner, Darkseer, in the top lane. They know he's having a hard time. They want to be able to make some pickoffs on the bottom lane, but the 2 is paying off. Having Lich by your side is good, but he goes ahead and eats this Sacred Arrow in the back, but Bulldog laying out the cogs. He's going to segregate them out, but Lich taking too much damage. Gets hit by the Starfall and does fall by the last auto attack, so they do manage to get a pickoff in the tri-lane, just as I was saying. That Red Star trying to make a move on Dendi. No, Dendi is in the top lane. He's in a bit of trouble. Probably got caught off guard by the Bane. S4, though, very persistent. He needs to get level 6 before he can get too invested, but he is going to make a move towards the top lane. It looks like he's going to try to catch Dendi off guard, but Dendi has salved up and does have more life, so S4 trying to scout it out does notice Dendi has a lot more life. Will he decide to go on it? Nope. Dendi lays the creep. Is a little bit of a bodyguard. But meanwhile, Red Star is going to be a bit of trouble. He better run across. He will. He's going to try to juke out S4. He is aware. He's making a move for him, and he will escape this. So nice map awareness, but Red Star not getting too loose and allowing himself to go to the top river and getting caught off. They didn't have the ward up, but Dendi probably did make it aware that he could run into a bit of a pickle if he took his business to the top river. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Bulldog blocking out that Naga. Naga being very eager, wants to go ahead and get as many pickoffs in his bottom lane as possible. Still at the top of the pack, 26 and 12. Loda getting lots of last hits in, picks up his phase boots. Meanwhile, Nose on the Mirana picks up her phase boots as well. So about even trade for each carries on each side. Getting a little flabbergasted by all the pickoffs. They do lay a counter ward and are going to take the vision away from the Dire team. Now they will not have a clue where the Naga and Elder Titan are going to come from. They're going to have to play a little more loose. They're going to be forced to stay back now. They don't have the vision to see a pickoff coming in. Unfortunately, I did miss a pickoff on Dendi in the middle. It does appear that Skyzo makes a rotation middle to help out S4, who did have his level 6 and utilized it very well, managing to pick off Dendi. So your score is 3-3. It is tied between All-Star B and the Dire. Here we go. The arrow was laid off by Nose. Does land on S4. One more auto attack. He does make the move forward. Oh, and he does fall. With his last dying breath, observing Nose, getting the invisibility, and she will head out of there. Nice pick off. Nice vengeance for Dendi. Nose making the rotation to the mid lane. And as I said before, without the proper vision in the jungle that the Dire had, they could not see Nose make the rotation to the middle and make the shout out, rather. Loda picks up an Orb of Venom, Bane being true to his true number 5 support role, getting a lot of extra sentries, a little extra vision, being aware that they did lose a little bit of vision in the bottom lane. Meanwhile, the Radiant team does have sufficient rune vision. Dendi will be wary of these runes to come. And they're going to play a little bit of footsie action here. Still running even. They did trade off deaths, and they are about even in CS, so no clear-cut advantage yet for either Dendi or S4 in the mid lane. But Loda is slowly inching ahead for this carry farm comparing to Mirana's. Mirana did, however, make the rotation middle and get a pick off, so they probably are about even as far as farm as well. So pretty close game. As you can look at the gold graph, it's not too far ahead for either team. It's been pretty stable and slow. It is 5-3 in advantage for the Radiant team. So, keys to the game. What is going to need to happen to make these games work? Or this game work? What? Oh, meanwhile, though, Red Star getting a little too far ahead of himself. Tries to make a juke back with the Surge. The open wounds will slow him in a moment as his Surge wears off. Trying to maybe fall to a enemy creep is picked off by Loda. And that is going to make things a little harder for his Radiant team. The Sunstrike falls, but it does miss, unfortunately. The Bane being a little extra cautious, hugging the trees, not going anywhere clear-cut, does successfully dodge that. Meanwhile, we're going to have a little battle for the room. Bottom Bulldog making a bodyguard action here. S4 does pick up the haste, and knows he's going to travel through the jungle. We'll see if he spots out the clockwork. Meanwhile, S4 triggers the haste, is going to go ahead and make a run. They do ping it out. They are aware of it. Elder Titan, he's going to be in a world of hurt in a moment. Bulldog laying out the battery assault, but here comes S4. He will have the pull, but he doesn't need to use it. Makes up a few auto attacks. Does fall, but S4 eats an arrow for his trouble, and he's going to be in a bit of a trouble, but he does have the mana. He's going to go for the pull anyways on Mirana. Mirana laying out the auto attacks. There goes the bottle. Being a trickster, now going to come in from behind, but here's Naga laying out the ensnare. It does get disjointed, and Mirana does fall. Now Naga in a world of trouble, being chased out by 3, but here we go. TP does come in. It's Elder Titan. He's back from the dead, ready to lay out some damage. The Astral Spirit falls on the Lich, but it's not enough, and Naga does fall as well. So 2 going down for the Radiant team. They want vengeance. They take out the Lich. A quick smack in the ass by Darkseer does it. Bulldog going to go ahead and head to safety, heading through the top river, laying off the cogs for extra measure, and he will be safe now. So, nice exchange of kills. Probably leading us slightly towards the Dire team, but meanwhile, Dendi laying out the cold snap. Bang! Drops the ult. Will not have anything else there to offer. Nose trying to make a clear shot. Leaps in. Goes for the Starfall. 2 more auto attacks. Not even needed. Lays out the Sacred Arrow instead, and Bane does fall. Bane, not sure he was thinking there without the team. Maybe thought he'd be able to take Dendi all the way down, but Dendi
is under attack.
able to tank that. Does have the GG branches, of course, and did pick up his mana boots. So Bane making a bit of a miscalculation there. Does pay. The game is back even now. 7-7. So let's go ahead and look up some of the items. As you can see, Loda did pick up his Midas and is putting it to good use right away. He's going for the long haul of this game. Loda doing his typical farm to the hive heaven. Probably around the 20 to 25 minute mark, you really see him come into his prime and really be a part of these team battles. Not bothering too much with team rotation early. He knows that he needs to pull this one out for his team as it gets later on. He pretty much being a true single core, and know that S4 ran into a little bit of trouble early, so we'll see how it pans out. He does, however, need to get the deeps. Meanwhile, S4 making a jump on Dendi, gets the pull. Clockwork misses the hook shot right behind, and they're going to try to make a run in for it. It does have an ensnare. S4 changing targets to Naga. Here we go. Clockwork controlled by the tower. Eats the Sunstrike as well. Well placed and gets taken down. And so does Lich. Lich falls as well, and so did Mirana. So a bit of a 2-for-1 trade, as it seemed. Not sure if that happened in the other lane. It did. Darkseer falling, though, to Loda. Does make an advancement. The wall unable to successfully defend, and Loda makes an escape out. So it does end up being a 2-for-2 trade, and we're back even again. 9-9. Very back and forth. You take this. I take that. Give me that. You have this. S4 making a jump again. Once on Dendi is eager for it. There goes the Brain Sap. Auto attacking in. Will he be able to get it? Nope. Elder Titan able to rotate in with the TP. Lays out the Astral Spirit. The Sunstrike to come. S4. Oh, it just skims him down. Lays out the Magic Wand. Dodges the auto attack. The arrow does fall behind. Almost lands it on S4. Meanwhile, the Bane ultimate takes out Nose successfully. Elder Titan with no mana goes out for the auto attacks. He needs one more hit. He got it. Proceeding to run away now from the Lich, CWM rather. Putting out a little bit of aggressment. Does land the nuke. The Astral Spirit falls, making a move for the top. Will Lich continue to proceed? No, he does not. He makes the turnaround. So, here we go. A tit for tat, one more. It's 10-10. Very nice. Game's getting pretty up. It's getting pretty serious right now, but all the meanwhile, Loda has been getting all the farm he needs in this top lane. He's 75-21, leading like over 20 ahead of anyone else in the game. Dendi did pick up his Staff of Wizardry and the Ring of Regen. You can see him probably pick up the push stick. That's going to be good. Meanwhile, Naga still sitting pretty low on farm, is opting to go more of a support role, is getting the wars needed. Ludlam picking up some sentries, does have the Magic Wand, and there we go. Naga picks up her Magic Urn. Meanwhile, Red Star having the Soul Ring. The arrow laid out. Rage is put out, does dodge anyway. Elder Titan making the move, lays out the Astral Spirit, making a run for Loda rather. The Sunstrike will connect and finish off. Very good team effort to take down Loda. They knew he was in a lot of trouble, or they knew that he was being a big threat, and they needed to take him down, and they did. So very successful, but they will pay a little bit of the price. It looks like Elder Titan unable to get out in time. The late song by Naga, it's not able to help her. They can set anything up. Nose is in the area, but he has no mana. They lay out the ensnare. Will he have anything to offer? Pops the Magic Wand to get a little bit of mana. Tries to get the auto attacks off. Meanwhile, Naga running into a bit of trouble. Unstopped. Will he be taken down? S4 very persistent by this. Has the pull. And they're trying to trade two supports. One for each. Nose getting a little too caught up. The turn off all. Will he get? Yes! He manages to get the kill before he falls. Will he fall? Yes, he'll fall. So Nose didn't want things to end on a sour note, trying to get Bane in exchange for Naga, but it wasn't quite worth it as he did fall himself. So it is a 2-for-1 exchange, but they did get Loda earlier, so you could say pretty much break even in that team fight. Taking down one carry and one support for each team, so that's not too terrible. Dendi gonna get open wounds. The push stick is there to help out, but will be enough. Plays out the invis, but they do have a sentry planted, but it still won't be enough. Push stick saving his life up there. Pretty smart pickup. If he didn't have it, he probably would have fallen right there. So, very nice. Meanwhile, S4 is going to make a scout out for the room bottom, but Darkseer is there first. It's mine, baby! And makes a run, is able to bottle it up. Frustrated S4. He's going to go ahead and probably take his business back to the top. He is... Looks like he's building towards the power treads right now. His farm isn't quite where it needs to be. He needs to get a little more pickoffs. He needs to be taking more advantage of being level 6. He's almost level 11 now. And mid lane, we might see a bit of a trouble, but open wounds is laid out. Loda, vacuum back. The wall doesn't connect. Darkseer now in a bit of trouble. Lich trying to help him out. The Astral Spirit doing a lot of damage, and they do manage to dodge the Elder Titan ultimate. The hook shot goes out, but it seems to miss. Meanwhile, Naga, a little too overzealous, trying to make the move on Lich. The Astral Spirit finishes him off, but Naga might be in a bit of trouble. Does fall to the Battery Assault. Meanwhile, Bane laying out the ultimate on Elder Titan. The Sunstrike will whiff to the backside. And here we go. Elder Titan trying to make a run for it. Darkseer doesn't have quite the mana. Yes, he does to lay out the Surge, plus the push stick. Good help by his team right there in the Dire, though. Leading 14-13. Nice exchange. Nice work. Here we go. Nose. Open wounds, does manage to leap away to safety. Nose, looks like he picks up his Yasha and Phase Boots. That's very nice. There we go. Sacred Arrow does dodge on the Loda. So, thank you very much for the information. It does appear that CWM is actually come with me, so I'll try my best to properly announce his alias, his gaming tag, if you will. I will try my best. Have patience with me. Light fingers. I'm learning everyone and all their silly names. Unstop. I don't know. One of these people's funn1k. Which one's funn1k? I don't know. So with all due respect, I apologize, funn1k, if you, for some whatever reason in your godforsaken life, want to watch this. I apologize. Meanwhile, the smoke is laid out in this Dire team. They're aggressive. S4 knows he needs to be getting more kills. He needs to get a little more farm if he wants to build towards anything. Maybe an Orchid, that might help. A Lincoln Sphere, we'll see. But Lincoln Sphere, it's a little too late to go on that. We'll see. Meanwhile, Bulldog making the hook shot out. Sunstrike is going to come for a little bit of help, and Naga will fall regardless. Meanwhile, Lich shows up, laying out the Frost Armor. Meanwhile, S4 spotting out Dendi, makes the move in. The ultimate is laid off. It will not finish. Dendi, very good use of the push stick once more. Gets away, and Elder Titan makes the rotation to avenge him and taking out Lich. Meanwhile, I didn't notice, but it does appear Loda did fall in the top lane. Bane getting chased down. It's a chase in the river. One more auto attack. Does sleep himself, trying to prolong things, but the vacuum will finish off the Bane. So, apologies on that. Oh, here we go. Another pick-off, it seems. Dendi is dominating as he does finish off Bulldog. S4 trying to fall back. We'll run to Naga. Naga lays out the sleep. They want to get this easy.
New game hosted.
So, here we go. Astral Spirit goes out. Riptide is enough to finish off S4. And that's going to be a real kick in the nuts for this Dire team. Almost all of them falling, including Loda on the side lane. Must have got picked off by the bottom. Fell as well. It's 18-5. If we go ahead and take the time to look at this gold graph, you can see it's a slight favor for the Radiant, but not quite yet. Loda still has a significant amount of farm, but just as I say that, he's in a bit of trouble. The wall falls, and the illusion Darkseer is enough alone to take him out in man mode right there. But here we go. Darkseer in a bit of trouble, taking a lot of damage. The Brain Sap does hit. Bulldog making a run through the wall. Dendi pushing ahead. One more no attack does finish off the Bulldog. Good job. And also the Bane. They all fall. 21-15. The Radiant team having great team awareness and setup are really getting advantage in these team fights. They're getting the proper pick-offs. They're really helping each other out. Dendi's making great use of his push stick. Makes a blink now. Extra mobility. Why not? Going in on the Lich, but notice S4 is here to the party. S4 making a move in. Dendi, though, very wary of that. Goes in Viz and gets himself in a bit of safety. So Dendi being quite the pest. We're seeing quite nice Invoker play. I apologize if I'm not ever able to watch over that a little more. In the meantime, Elder Titan gets his power threads and is joining the idea of dying as he's pushing forward, lays out the ultimate, but it's not enough. Loda very wary of that, casts the rage and goes into an infest, tries to get the hit off. It doesn't quite line. Elder Titan surviving for a little bit longer, but will not live. So, Loda seeking vengeance for getting picked off by Darkseer earlier. Meanwhile, takes a Frost Armor as we do get a hookshot on the Naga. The Sunstrike is laid out. Clockwork taking a lot of damage, but will not fall. Nope. Won't fall. Takes a lot of damage, but not quite enough. So it looks like the Dire team, they're ready to take some towers now. The tier 1 is going to fall. Meanwhile, the Radiant team going to trade that. Get a tier 1 on the bottom lane, so not too bad. If we go ahead and take the time to look at the net worth, you can see Loda is leading the pack, but the 3 to follow are all for the Radiant team. So we can we'll find out if Loda can do what he can to pull this game. He's got the team on his back. The eggs are in his basket. We'll see if he decides to get this one really rolling. He's going to have to do more focus on the farm. Picks up his Sage. And let's go ahead and we'll look over some more of the items here. Nose picking up the Ultimate Orb. You can see him build more into that Manta style. And there we go, just like that, Loda insta-buys, finishes his Sanjin Yasha, so extra mobility, a little more damage, attack speed doesn't hurt either, and the survivability, all gonna help well. Come With Me managed to finish off his Mechanism. That's going to be a strong tool for these matches. They always seem to be getting away with just a little bit of life. That Mechanism is going to provide them a little more survivability, so you can't go wrong with that. And meanwhile, as stated before, Dendi opting to go with more of that mobility build. He's got the Force Staff and the Blink Dagger, so we'll see. He's got about 1,700 in the bank now. We'll see if he decides to go for a little bit of survivability, maybe a BKB, I don't know, a Yules, anything to go ahead and really put him back, you know, because if Loda's decides to build up any more hard towards DPS, he could run into a bit of trouble. He won't always live with the Invis, but speaking of Invis, the Moonlight Shadow is going to go out, and they're going to make an advancement towards middle. Meanwhile, Dendi, a little further ahead of his pack, they're trying to scout it out, but it looks like the Dire team are very wary of this. Maybe scout it out with one of the wards. They did have no observer, so I don't think they saw it, but they're just going to be playing a little extra cautious. Meanwhile, S4 makes a leap in. Dendi pushing away cautiously right before the pull could happen, and S4 takes himself back out. Reimburses the Mano a bit. Meanwhile, Sacred Arrow does go out. Will they walk into it? Yes! Skyzo, unfortunately, eats the Sacred Arrow. Will they push on this? There we go. There goes the Meatball. It falls, and their Bane does fall, getting picked off right there. Meanwhile, Naga will trade that and falls. Elder Titan falls as well, so slowly coming back. The Bane buys back, and they're trying to make a comeback in this match. Red Star falls as well. That's 3 down. So a comeback happening right now for this Dire team. Radiant really wanted to push for that Bane, but they did pay the price.
Dire's middle tower.
Dire very wary. They were going to make the full commitment to Bane, opted to jump for the Naga instead, and found Elder Titan right there, so both supports falling very quickly. They are a little too squishy for this, even though he does have the power treads. Elder Titan just a bit squishy right now. Same with Naga. Obviously, Dendi trying to go for a pick off, gets caught off right there, and will fall. So, bummer. That's 4 total that fall. Marana the only one surviving in total, and look at that. Now it's a 22-21 game. Look at the Gold Fraft. Back to square one. We're back to a even game here, folks. All right, great names, great players, and a great game so far. I'm okay with that, and I'm sure you are too.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
In the meantime, Naga picking up the Ring of Regen. We'll see if she decides to be the mech. Nope, mech already picked up a Red Star. She's probably gonna go for a push stick instead. A little more survivability. Of obviously a Clockwork on the other team. It's always smart to have a push stick or two in your back pocket in case you get into a bit of a jam. Loda, they don't really have much vision as far as, you know, him being able to go ahead and go for just some easy farm. So, ahead into the Radiant jungle, but he doesn't really care. He has backup nearby. S4's there, and of course S4 with that ultimate, he can pop to a fight anytime he chooses. S4 did manage to pick up his Orchid, so that's going to be a bit of a nuisance for some of the heroes, including Darkseer and Naga, and especially Dendi. So you can see him go for Dendi especially. He's going to have to play a little extra cautious. That Orchid will really shut him down. I don't think Invoker is really good of a fist fighter, if I had to say so myself. I think he'd be more of a little bitch if it came to a man-on-man fight. But he's got those spells. He's going to need to hold on to him. Sacred Arrow, very wary, lands on Bulldog, but Bulldog is invis. Are they going to make the move? They could make a mistake once again and get a little too overzealous going for these pickoffs, trying to make a run for it, but S4 says, get back here, lays out the dust, and Marana unable to escape. And the Darkseer will fall, so a little bit of deja vu here in this fight again. Once again, the Radiant thinking they have an easy pickoff, but the Dire team almost baiting out these arrows, forcing the Radiant to be convinced that they need to jump on the opportunity, but every time they do so, the Dire team, very wary, turn around and pick off 2 in return. So the Radiant team need to go ahead and think a little harder about when they need to initiate onto these easy setups. They need to get smarter, they need to play more together. If they're going to commit, they need to commit all together. They can't footsie it, if you will, and be in, then fall back out again. So the Dire team pulling ahead now. They're 23 to Radiant's 22. Loda still leading the pack. He's at net worth at about 12,000 gold. Has the Hyperstone now. You'll see him build into an Assault Curios. So going for really quick damage. He wants to be able to take down the supports right away and then really go into the rest of them. I mean, if you look at it, ooh, unfortunately, Dendi running into trouble. Probably was hanging around the bottom rune looking for it at the 24-minute mark. Does get picked off. Not good. This is salt in the open wound that's already been started by the Dire team. Loda Feeling a little ballsy, coming in from the backside, it seems. He's going to catch this Elder Titan. He thinks he can go man mode and take him down before getting caught up in anything. The sleep won't help because Rage is there. Just constant auto attacks. They have nothing to offer, and Dendi's not around to give him a push stick, so just too easy of a pick-off for Loda. Doesn't even need to worry about the rest of them. He had his eyes set on that Elder Titan. He knew he had to take him down. Red Star going to try to make something happen. He looks like he's going to build towards a BKB. He's going to try his best to get a little more survivability. It will be very crucial for him to land an optimal vacuum and wall, especially on someone like Loda. If he's going to get so crazy with his DPS, he's going to want to use it against him. Dire Team, on the meantime, they're going to go ahead and take advantage of the space that they have now and take out this Roshan. It doesn't look like the Radiant are going to offer much of a threat. They are wary of it. They are picking it out, and it looks like the Dire Team are a little bit cautious. They're going to back up. Don't want to risk it. They already have the momentum is in their favor, rather. They don't want to break that. They don't want to ruin it by one very badly played Roche fight. So they're going to be cautious about this. They want to see if the Radiant are going to bait themselves into the pit, but it doesn't look like they will. Dendi hanging out middle. Radiant going to take it back. I don't know if they can see or spot out, but nope, there they go. They see that the Dire Team is pulled back. They're going to go ahead and proceed back to their local farm game, if you will. Darkseer has a TP though. He's ready to make a move, but as it would seem, they are going to continue and play footsie at this Roche pit. So we'll see if the Dire Team decide to commit to it or not. Drop should be enabled for this game, to answer your question, Deja, as I am a ticketed person and I am in the casting position of the game, so I believe you should be getting drops if you have a ticket yourself, which if you don't have a ticket, I strongly suggest you do. These games are very good. This is the EEL, the European Elite League. Meanwhile, SS4 making a move, very wary of the Elder Titan. Ultimate is going to make a step back, and easy pickoff once more for him, and he spots out. Whoa, whipping past the Dendi, going ahead to the Naga, getting the other support pickoff. Darkseer forced to lay the wall defensively. It will not be very effective. Is going to try to run back by the Surge. Meanwhile, Dendi going ahead and trying to get the Lich pick off himself. Laying out the meatball. Will it be enough? Trying to mech up the Frost Armor. Will he get the TP off? Dendi, will he get... Whoa, he will not. Decides to push stick himself instead. Meanwhile, both Mirana and Darkseer were caught off middle. It's 4 down. So, unfortunately, bad position by his Radiant team. The Elder Titan... a little too far off on his own, getting caught by S4 and getting picked off easily, and then they rotate it towards the other support on Naga. Meanwhile, Dendi trying to hide in the woods, tries to go for the pickoff on Lich, but it's unsuccessful. And unfortunately, that's 3 fights. The past 3 fights have gone in the favor of the Dire Team. It's 22-30. The gold graph has drastically dipped so quickly towards this Dire Team. They're already 10,000 gold ahead. Oh, I'm sorry, that was 10,000 EXP ahead. They are about 6,000 gold ahead. It's still a lot. It's not quite as drastic as 10,000 gold, but it's enough. It's enough for Loda to really push ahead in this game. He's already got 2.2k in the bank after finishing his Assault Curios. I want to go ahead and let everyone go ahead and look at these sweet items. You can see the items are right here. I'm going to do a little bit of a mod. Items over here. Bulldog has a push stick of his own, a 4-staff rather. Knows to finish his mana style. Unstop is trying to get a little closer towards a 4-staff of his own, and Dendi is going to opt for the Agnum Scepter. S4 probably going to go towards a Sheep Stick. A little weary again that possibly the Dire Team's doing a rush, but they will see they're not. But we do have a little bit of a West Side story happening in the bottom lane. Radiant Team, they're going to try to push past the jungle. Nope, they want to back up. Naga, it might be looking for an offensive Song of the Siren, but will not get it. They're going to try any opportunity they can to land one. It's going to be really effective if they can land it. They do have the Darkseer, so it's going to be one of their last hopes for this game. It's not looking too good for them. Their best chance is to get a big setup by either Noses, Moonlight Shadow, but just as I say that, S4 making an advance in, he sees the Elder Titan. He's going to go for another pick off Elder Titan. Not very happy with S4 at all this game. There goes the dust. No one is safe. Dendi trying to go invis. The song is just too late to help. And unfortunately, they're going to try their best to make something happen. This is pretty much their only shot. There goes the arrow. It's not going to be enough. Lich has the ult in his back pocket, lays it out. S4 finishing off the Darkseer, and Naga trying to run for her life. Unstop in a bit of a trouble, but here we go. 4 on the squad. S4 with a little bit of mana mix to move in. Not quite enough mana to make the pull yet. Will Naga be safe? Naga earns herself trying to bait this out. They wanted this is kind of working in their favor. They want to distract them as much as possible, not allowing them to get a push because Elder Titan's already back, but Naga does fall anyway. So Mirana is back. Did offer the buyback, or maybe she can survive. I'm not too sure. Elder Titan is back as well, so we'll see if they can take at least a tier 2 for that. I probably would have opted for instead taking the easy tier 2 mid tower, but they decided to go for the move anyways. Mirana getting overzealous. Does fall. No's in trouble too, and another wipe of the team. 30 minutes in, 35 to 24. The Dire team pulling more and more ahead of this game. Man, not looking good. The Radiant squad, they're just not finding the setups they need. They need to have. They're looking for an offensive Naga, Song of the Siren. They're looking for a good setup by Moonlight Shadow, but they know this Dire squad has just had too much vision, too much counter vision. They have the dust, they have the sentries up. Bane, as you can see, sentry in pocket. They're very wary that the Radiant team need to get as best of a setup as they can, and they're not allowing it. They're not allowing it. They're going for more offensive vision. They're allowing S4 to get the pickoffs now. He had a bit of a slow start, but he's on full stride right now. As I say that, he did fall in the last fight, but with that Orchid in hand, he can really get an easy pickoff. He really can allow them to really pull ahead a lot further and allow someone like Loda to come in from the back and lay out the serious damage that's needed. And Lich, trying his best to come with me, is doing a pretty good job finding the right opportune times to lay out the ultimate. Has the mechanism, building towards that Agnum Scepter, wants to get as best of an ultimate as he can, and here we go, 3 stacks already. Loda. Roshan stack. So, look at that. He'll have he's going to get some serious help here. He's getting a lot of support from his team. They're going to back him up here. They're going for the Roche Radiant team. I don't think they're going to have the motivation needed, but this is one of the few opportune windows they have to really have the whole Dire team together to really make something happen, but it looks like they're going to play back. They're not going to really put up a defense. They'll let them know they're there, and they know you're doing it. But Loda picking up the Aegis. He's not going to do the Aegis just yet. He's going to go ahead and opt to jump in Bulldog. Bulldog now going to go on the offensive. He's going to look for a hook shot and go for probably one of the last pickoffs that will happen in this game if he does get it. Sacred Arrow flying out, but they do see the S4. S4 was stunned, but they're not going to be able to make a move on him. Here we go, the hook shot. Catches on something. I'm not too sure what happened right there, to be quite honest, but oh well. Anyways, they pass on that opportunity. They're going to push back right now. Radiant team, though, going to give them a little bit of a run for their money. The Sacred Arrow goes out, but they do not catch it. Very good 4-step, and here we go. One of the rare opportunities in offensive Naga Siren, Song of the Siren, laid out. There goes the wall. The meatball does fall. The wall is there. The cogs is right by the wall. We'll see if they can make it in their favor. But meanwhile, they do fall 4 down immediately. That was probably the best setup. They're going to get this game. They really couldn't make it work. They were a little too staggered right there. The Dire team, though, not letting the Radiant really bullying them around in that fight. And that was their last breath. Didn't work out for them. So while they did have the early advantage of this game, the Dire team being, pulling it together, finding the pickoffs needed, and do pull it out. So congrats to Loda and S4 and whoever else on that team, maybe funn1k, I don't know. If you like what you heard, this is Kotlguy over at twitch.tv/Kotlguy. You can also find me at twitter.com/Kotlguy. I want to thank you very much for watching. Also, if you didn't know, I believe the NEL still has the playoffs going. You should check them out. Twitch.tv/Neo Dota 2. And maybe I'll catch you on the next one, alright?